Hi, my name is Miranda Hill and I am the curator of Remember Nature Interactions exhibition at the main gallery at Artgene in Barrow-in-Furness. Interactions is a show that invites us to think about how we can reconnect and reroute ourselves in ecology. And by ecology, we mean the living systems around us, the land, and also each other and the people and communities that exist within our places. The show does this through practices of food, through practices of art, and also care. And those practices are displayed through the works by the three artists, who are Alistair Debling, Faye Mataloup, and Maddie Nicholson of Artgene. So interactions, it's a term that is borrowed from the philosopher and physicist Karen Barad. And unlike the term interactions, which sort of implies that we're separate entities that engage with each other, Karen argues that we are beings that are formed through our relationships and entanglements with one another. So we're not separate from the natural world, but actually shaped through and within it. So the works on show in the exhibition invite us to think about three interconnected themes. The first being Barrow's industrial past and history, and when that disconnect between people and the land began to happen and how it happened. The second part looks at the social constructs that encourage that disruption and detachment from the natural world, especially looking at ideas like the Scala Naturae or Great Chain of Being. And then thirdly, how can we start to repair that disconnection through food as care and knowledge, and using it as a way to remember, to care for each other and to reconnect with the environment. Remember Nature, it's a call to experiment. It's an invitation to think of ways to reconnect through performance, through play, through listening, through sharing knowledge, eating food together, and remembering and celebrating the shared earth where we all came from.
My name's Alistair Debling. I'm an artist and I've been working with Artgene on a project that started with a residency at the beginning of this year in Barrow, where I've been working collaboratively with members of Barrow's asylum-seeking and refugee communities. We started with a trip to Abbot Hall in Kendal, where we had an amazing tour and introduction to their portraiture collections. And since then, we've been creating ceramics, embroidery, photographs and a 16mm film, all taking inspiration from local art collections and kind of reimagining them. So as the project relates to Remember Nature, I was interested in sort of unsettling two of the definitions that we widely associate with the word nature. The first of which is nature as something that's external to us, external to humans. I think that we're part of nature and everything that we do is part of nature. That's not to say that, well, then everything we do must be okay then. What I think is important to do is to look at the wider ecology and see us as participating in that, and see that humans' actions are unequal and have an unequal influence in the wider ecology that we're a part of. So one of the things I've been thinking about is how do we have a more collaborative approach with nature and think about participating in our ecologies more equally. So in terms of the processes and materials that we've been using, I think of this as, collaborating with people, plants, place, minerals. So we've been making ceramic pieces that are leaf prints, that are prints into earth that are dug out of the ground and then fired with oxides and minerals to create glazes. And the photographs, we've developed the black and white film using weeds collected around the site. So yeah, both in terms of the way that the project has been socially engaged with the groups that we've been working with, the multiple hands that have shaped the artworks, but also including these mineral and plant and place-based elements to kind of equally collaborate with the human hands in the project.
I'm Smera Jabbar. I'm from Pakistan, and I'm mom of 3 children. They are teenagers, asylum seekers, and I used to volunteer with different organizations and in different events that held in Barrow. So when Maddie told me that there is a project Alistair is going to do, and I was excited to involve with. Before this, I did pottery work with Alistair, and it was with Leaf. It was fun and learning. And then Alistair told me that there is another project, about nature and about art and painting. I said, I would love to do it. So I did it, and there is poster work, and I paint in autumn colors. I love autumn colors, and this orangish and yellowish color and greenish. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. First of all, it was meeting the people who involved, the artists. They were really lovely people, and it was fun, and this learning with nature, involving in nature, it was lovely experience for me. Yeah. Oh, I'm excited to see my, the poster work. Yeah, I'm really excited. Yeah.
My name's Faye Matloop. I'm a British-born Iraqi artist based in London with a practice rooted in supper clubs, cooking, writing and community-based workshops. In 2023, I graduated from Central St Martin's with a degree in sculpture. Following my studies, my artistic practice gradually transitioned towards a medium of food. As my work increasingly moved beyond the confines of the studio and onto the plate, I began to define this evolving body of work as edible mediums. Edible mediums encompasses a diverse range of formats. As a second-generation Iraqi, I've been using food as a way to engage with different communities, learn from them, and carry out research on the preservation of migrant identity. I emphasize the importance of creating accessible language for first and second-generation immigrants like myself in a creative context. I'm drawn to alternative forms of consumption. A lot of my food writing focuses on places like old restaurants, greasy spoons, community-run kitchens where food is the common language. I love the idea of food malls that are somewhat liminal spaces, yet you may leave having randomly had the best meal of your life. I like waiters' notepads that you use to take orders, turn over to write down your shopping list for later, and turn over again to take table-freeze drinks. The culinary imaginary has occupied my thinking as an artist for a long time. Having trudged through the trenches of hospitality over the years, from runner to waiter to chef, I'm fascinated by its grueling world. I'm obsessed with old menu designs, cutlery, a mother's kitchen, recipes that aren't written down, food that is mass-cooked, forgotten food, and people's palates. I was recently fortunate enough to be the artist in residence at ArtGene. For 10 days, I lived and breathed to life this book alongside the refugee community in Barrow-in-Furness. With the kitchen serving as my home, studio and classroom, I led 4 workshops filled with drawing, storytelling and warm meals shared with kind and gentle hands from all across the world. The language barrier was the most challenging part of our time there. In one session, I believe we had 13 different languages in the room. With English not being anyone's first language, we relied heavily on non-verbal communication, such as drawing and, of course, cooking. However, there was one language you all did share: food.
I'm Maddie Nicholson, and I'm the artist founder, director of ArtGene, and I'm also one of the artists as part of this Remember Nature Interactions exhibition. It's really amazing that ArtGene has been asked to be part of this fantastic day of action on November the 4th, and it's wonderful that we could create an exhibition around that. But the first thing that I was asked to do was to create a poster to remember nature. I loved making the artwork for the poster. I took an envelope which has been recycled and opened that up, and inside created a series of phrases like little placards which are entertaining, but also some quite poignant as well. So at this point here, I was trying to let Mother Nature have its say. And that's formed the poster for Remember Nature Day of Action. The main piece of work for the exhibition is Mother Nature on Ramsden's Tower. Sir James Ramsden was an engineer and industrialist and is widely regarded as the founding father of Barrow-in-Furness, bringing the railway and industry to the town, and later serving many years as Barrow's mayor. He's a well-known historical figure for the people of Barrow and has his own statue in Ramsden Square. Through my research, I came across archival designs for fabulous proclamation towers that were on the site of Ramsden's statue in Barrow. It got me thinking of creating an equivalent tower for Mother Nature to proclaim from, to redress the balance of the effects of industrialisation and to proclaim about climate change, sustainable food and nature loss. I already had a huge pair of steps saved and recycled from the old Homebase store in Barrow. I used these as a structure for the tower. I made hand-painted placards using slogans that offer both protest phrases and sustainable solutions to the climate crisis. I've clad the tower with these, Mother Nature on Ramsden's Tower. I'm also putting on display in the exhibition a fantastic portmanteau that belonged to Sir James Ramsden, which I have acquired after one of ArtGene trustees tracked it down. It has his name engraved on it. He must have carried it with him everywhere. On the opening night of the exhibition, I plan to include this portmanteau and a top hat, which Ramsden was known for wearing, in a mini performance at the top of the tower. I will enact a series of power poses reminiscent of great and powerful men, political and business leaders and superheroes, embodying Mother Nature. She makes a stand. Mother Nature is given a voice. She proclaims how mad she is with the world. She redresses the power structures and she makes proclamations of sustainable ways forward, respecting nature and the environment. Mother Nature asserts control. Mother Nature mailed, she's mad. Barrow, #1 for nature. Art nurtures nature. Grow your own allotment soup. Sand dune solutions, please. Carbon sink. Green is the new black. Act now and save our earth. Soil will save us. Leaf no trace. Value our weeds. Love seas, trees and bees. Be astute, plant for the future. Soil is our carbon store. Small steps, big change. Flower power, go green. Triple SI saviour. Pollen protect us. Green the streets. Beautiful people grow beautiful veg. Grow wild and grow local. May the forest be with you. Fight climate change in your backyard. Coastal climate champion. Bees, please. Soil is special. Act now and save tomorrow. Homegrown is best. Keen to be green. Veggie, not meaty. No more may. Plant-based solutions. Veg out. No to greenhouse gases and yes to greenhouse veg. See kale and eat it. Soil carbon store. More cheese, please. More cheese? More trees, please. Euphoric for my euphorbia. Biodiverse and proud. Learn resilience. Grow your own food. Turn the CO2 tap off with a carbon sink. See campion. Champion. Every action counts. Wanley geranium forever. Organic, biodiverse and beautiful. Plant a tree for free. Keep calm and compost. Cut the greed, not the green. Small actions save lives. Worms are winners. ArtGene goes green and Mother Nature fights back.